Okay. So good morning, everybody. Yeah, it looks a little dark in here. Today we're going to play with Dolphin Pose. And Dolphin Pose can be really tricky, but it also is a kind of a sweet relief from being on the hands and on the wrists all the time. I would just caution anybody with like chronic shoulder issues, be particularly mindful, right? We're all mindful in yoga. That's a wonderful thing. But be particularly mindful, maybe not hold poses as long, maybe come in and out and shake out the shoulders as you need to, right? So as always, we want to be kind and loving to our bodies and not do anything that's going to cause stress or strain any more than maybe using some new muscles and exploring things in a little different way. So start by sitting well, and sitting well for you may not be cross-legged. It might be legs straight, it might be knees bent and feet out in front of you. So just notice what feels good for you and maybe move the flesh out from the sit bones. Find that really nice long spine as we work on alignment. And then if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Let the elbows be really heavy. Wherever your hands are, let the elbows be heavy. And start to soften your internal gaze. With your inhale, let the belly be really soft. Allow that belly expansion on your inhale. And on the exhale, let it softly draw back in. Just starting to notice where you are on your mat. Right? Maybe noticing the air around you, maybe noises, all of that in the background, all of those part of your environment, but not needing specific attention. As we feel our bellies expand, our ribs expand, our lungs expand, as we use this breath, this life-giving breath. And as we sit, start to notice the front chest from one collarbone to the other collarbone, the width of those collarbones out to the beginning of the shoulders. Just notice that and maybe stretch those wide and then relax them. And stretch them wide so it's less about squeezing the back body, although you'll get activation there, but more as if someone were pulling your shoulders out to the sides, and then relax it. Good, just a couple more, it's very subtle. Widen through the collarbones, soft head, soft neck, no jaw tension, and relax. Good, one more, big wide collarbones. And relax it. Good, and then roll both shoulders. Just take them up to your ears, squeeze them back and down. Bring them up, squeeze them back and down. Couple more right here, squeeze. And then just a single shoulder, just one. And feel all the maybe crunches, right? The stretches, where do you feel tight, right? Most of us, many of us, that tightness is in the chest, right? In that front part of the body where we're working so much. Keep with that one shoulder, take your hand to your shoulder and circle the elbow. Everything else pretty chilled, pretty relaxed. If you have to shift out the legs, if the knees are getting cranky, go ahead and do that. Good, slow that circle down a little bit and then point that same elbow up to the ceiling. And just hold it there for a second. Release your hand from your shoulder and pat yourself on the back. And then imagine somebody is pulling your elbow up to the ceiling. Keep the head neutral. So if you're tucking that head down, see if you can keep neutral. Push that elbow up toward the ceiling. Feel the stretch through that side body just a little bit. Maybe tilt over to the opposite side. Since I didn't say which elbow, I won't say which side, but just a little bit of a side bend. Your other arm is supporting you either on your lap or on the floor. Just stretch. Big deep breath. Keep reaching the point of the elbow toward the ceiling. And take it center, release that arm, take it down. And then roll the other shoulder, just single shoulder. Nice, easy roll, maybe slow it down a little bit. Have you noticed one side feels tighter than the other, right? Good, and then do the elbow, hand to shoulder, fingers are softly touching your shoulder. Go slower, find your range of motion. Remember to take a break if you need to. Yeah. And breathe. That's it. The next time that elbow is pointing up to the ceiling, hold. Release that hand. Pat yourself on the back. You came to yoga this morning on a Sunday morning. Start to pull that elbow up toward the ceiling. Find that space, that distance from hip to elbow. Check the head, the neck, make sure your alignment is good. And then maybe bend over to the side. Easy, easy. Don't let the head drop down to your ear. Keep it neutral. Press the elbow up toward the ceiling. Find your big stretch here. And take it center. Release that arm. Take it down to the floor. Good. Go back to the other arm. Big circle behind you. Big circle. That's it, and just stretch. I got a wall right there, so good. One more. And other arm. Good, we're gonna come off seat in a minute, so switch out legs if they're getting cranky. I can see my camera is just kind of going in and out, so it's not your eyes, it's my camera. And take both arms out. Palms are forward. I want you to do that same stretch as if somebody has both fingers and are pulling fingers away from you. Find that. Engage the back body, but widen the collarbones. And then take the hands back a little bit. Watch for strain here. In fact, let's turn the palms up. Reach the pinkies even higher. So external rotation. Feel the sternum lift, right? The chest bone lifts, the collarbones get wide, but we're not scrunching up. And breathe. And then bring those thumbs back, maybe just a little bit more, just a little more. And then bring the palms together, touch your fingers. Stretch it right there. Pull the fingers away from you as if, again, somebody's pulling those hands, and then bring your hands to your heart. And let it go. And then take just your left shoulder, bring it up to your ear, roll it back, take the hand to your sacrum, right, to the back, low back, and then notice you're already in a twist. I've been playing with this one a little bit. Soften and bend the elbow, and then turn toward the left. Keep your head mostly in line with your chest bone, with your sternum, and feel this twist. Nice little open twist. Maybe wrap your left arm all the way around your back so your hand comes out the other side. And notice that. Don't go into the head neck. Keep it somewhat neutral. And then again, only if you want, right hand goes to left leg and we deepen the twist. But first, inhale. Really inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, easy twist. Your head is the least amount of twist in your body. See if you can go there, right? So it's no strain, no strain. And then undo the way that you came in. So release your right hand back to the right leg. Release your back arm until it comes back across your sacrum. Release the shoulder. and let go. And just kind of notice one side to the other side, right? Good, and then same thing, right side. Bring that shoulder up to your ear, squeeze it back and just pause. Where do you already feel the twist, right? I'm already feeling my chest starting to move in that direction. I'm feeling the upper ribs starting to move in that direction. Take your right hand to your sacrum. I am palm face in. I didn't say that before. There's no strain, no stress between my head, my neck. And then gaze over toward the right. Keep the head somewhat neutral. Just over the chest, maybe pointing in the same direction as your knee. Feel your belly. Either stay here or wrap the right arm the rest of the way around until your fingers come out the other side. Your hand comes out the other side. Notice that. Take your left hand to the right knee, still twisting ourselves up into a little pretzel here. There's ease in your head, your neck. You should be able to move it. It feels good. There's no strain. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, soften the pose. And then come out the way you came in. Let the left hand come back to the left knee. Release the back arm, untwist, release your shoulder. And roll it out. Good, and then straighten both legs. Coming into Dandasana, so legs are straight, they're fired up. If your hamstrings are super tight, maybe there's a bend in your knees, right? So we're gonna really ground down into the floor. We're gonna fire up the legs, press the big toe mounds away from you, hands come to your sides. The spine is long, the head, neck are neutral. So I'm not looking up, I'm not tucking down. The head is straight ahead. The shoulders draw sideways, so try that. Instead of squeezing the shoulder blades together, try drawing them sideways so that the back body is active without it over compressing or over squeezing. Good, nice deep breath, tone the belly in, take the arms up. Good, and then grab your left wrist and just reach it up to the ceiling. Watch the shoulders. Keep reaching, it's up, not sideways. So reach, 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 stretch that side body. Grab your other wrist, stretch it up to the ceiling. And breathe, did you forget about your legs? Good, squeeze those legs. Release, bend both elbows, squeeze them down. Keep those legs active, everybody. And press them up. Good, exhale, squeeze them down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze down and up. Good, last one, squeeze them down, working that back body, squeeze them up and let go of Dandasana, shake out those legs. If you can go cross-legged again, maybe cross the other way, so get out of that habit pattern. If that's too much, keep the legs straight, grab both of your blocks. And please do sit any way that feels comfortable. So don't feel any strain or stress in the knees or the hips if this is starting to really become uncomfortable. Take both of your blocks, if you have them, and place them side by side, okay? And then hold on to them with your hands. Draw the shoulder blades back as if you could draw those shoulder blades down your back. So it's less squeeze, it's more an engagement down, as if you were seating those shoulder blades into the back body. And feel that, and then squeeze the blocks a little bit. Take the blocks up to your level. So depending on your shoulders and the range of your shoulders, they may not be overhead. They might be more forward. So pay attention to that. And just notice, where are you at in the scheme of things? And then bring them down to the shoulders, bend the elbows into your sides, squeeze them back, push them out, take them up. Good, exhale, forward, squeeze them in, and out and up. One more time here. Forward, squeeze them in, elbows in, don't let them splay. And then pause for a moment with the elbows right beside you. So I'm splaying them out on purpose so you can see where they are. It's kind of darker in here than usual. But then draw the elbow points to the floor. The hands, wrists are right outside straight in front of your elbows. Lift your chest, tone the belly, press into your blocks. Widen the collarbone. So don't let the shoulders scrunch forward. Widen them out to the sides. Yeah, and just breathe. Just kind of get this image in your head. Keep that bent elbow. Take the arms up and breathe. And then lower. Good. Squeeze. One more here. Just squeeze them up. And then pause when those arms are right in front of you and the elbows are straight out from your shoulders. Now think dolphin pose or elbow plank, both of which we're doing today. The palms would not necessarily be in, right? They'd be on the floor, the hands would be interlaced, but the arms are pretty much where they would be in this pose. So imagine that your forearms are pressing into a wall right in front of you. Woo! But then broaden the collarbone. So the difference is subtle and small. I'm going to turn sideways and I still don't think you'll be able to see it. It's the difference between rounding the upper back and squeezing the chest, yeah, I can't really see it, versus drawing the shoulder blades back and down, keeping the collarbones wide. So see if you can find that. It's going to be pretty important later, right? So it's that squeeze back, but broadening through the front and the back of the chest. And let go. Good. Release your blocks. We're almost done here. Hang in there with me. Grab your strap. Same thing. Strap should be shoulder width apart or slightly wider if you have a loop. And by the way, I said if you didn't have these things, don't worry about it. You're going to be basically doing the same thing, but just kind of pretending that you have something between your elbows or around your elbows. So take the strap above your elbows and bring them roughly shoulders width apart. Shift out the legs if they're getting cranky. Same thing here. See if you can press easy against the strap. This time the palms are forward. I'm thinking about my body being on the floor, on my elbows, on my forearms, right? When we have wrist issues, these are beautiful alternatives to, say, table pose, balancing table, plank on hands, downward facing dog, right? These are going to give our wrists a little bit of a break so that we can play in a different way. So feel that work. Now, pull the elbows forward. Somebody just grabbed your elbows and they're pulling forward. Feel that rounding of your upper back. We don't want that. We want the drawing back and wide of the back body. Feel your shoulder blades descend down your back. Feel how that lifts the chest, tone your belly. Take a deep breath. Notice how you feel these arms already and release it down. All right, take that strap out, set it aside, set your blocks maybe up toward the front of your mat where you're going to get to them in a moment. If you've got a blanket and you would like to put a blanket underneath your knees, go ahead and do that. If you don't or don't need it, don't worry about it. So that's kind of what that would look like. Come to your hands and your knees for a moment, just to get your spacing, and then lower down to your elbows. Your palms are straight out in front of your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Your head and neck are comfortable, so I wouldn't drop it all the way down, but don't lift up and crank on the neck either. Keep it kind of neutral, and then do a few cats and cows here. So it's kind of weird, right? We're not on the hands. You're really tucking up into cat, tailbone drops, head drops, and then you're lifting up through the sit bones, lifting up the tailbone, maybe lifting the head gently. And exhale as you curl in and lift up. Good, 2 more right here. Just stretching out your spine and lifting up. And last one, curl it up, and bring it into a nice little cow. And then find neutral, nice length through your tailbone, nice tone through the belly. Check out those arms, how are they feeling? And then press into your hands and pull your elbows off the floor. And then slowly lower back down. Push, push, push. Don't let the elbows splay. And down again. Watch the head, neck. Good. 3 more. Push up. Right. What are we working here? Triceps. Triceps. Go slow. And down. We got 1 more. Push up. And down and then stay. Press back through your right foot. And then lift the right leg so that it's pretty level with your hip. If you go too high, you're just going to dump that right hip toward the floor or fall into your lower back. So just notice, right, maybe drop the head, stretch it out, and then bring it back to neutral. Toes point down toward the floor, the belly tones in, and either stay here or walk your left fingertips forward. So I'm on my fingertips and move my blocks out of the way. I'm on my fingertips, variation of balancing table. Belly tones, press out of your forearm, press into your hand, and bring it back. Lower your right leg, switch sides. Bring the left leg back. We're going to come off elbows in a minute. Tone the belly, press through that leg, lift the leg. Notice what you're feeling and where. Can you adjust something? Can you broaden through the collarbones, right? Can you find some comfort here? And then spider crawl those right fingertips out in front of you. Keep tucking through the belly. Make sure that right or that left leg is strong. Breathe. And release. Come back. Lower your knee. Press into your hands, lift up, and then just come on up to your knees. And roll your shoulders. Take the time for you personally, your body, to roll out, to come out, all that stuff. We're going to be on elbows a bit today, so just be mindful. Be mindful. Okay, here we are. Come on back down. You're back on elbows. The belly tones in, right? We don't want a cow pose here. We want a neutral spine, so the belly tones in. Your elbows are shoulders width apart. Try to release some of the weight from the elbows into the forearms and into the hands, because the tendency is to lean into the elbows and hang out there. Press your right leg back. Check out your head, neck. Make sure they're not feeling super tense. Lift the right leg again. Spider crawl your left fingertips out. Hold. Optionally lift your left hand off the floor, palm is still down. And then take the left arm back beside your left hip. Press into your forearm, I know, right? Check out the head, check out the neck, be mindful here. And then come out the way you came in. So if the arm is back, reach it forward. Bring the fingertips to the floor, walk the hand back in, lower your leg. And breathe. And last one here, back down. Try an option here that may feel better. Turn your palms in, soft fists, and press into your pinky side, forearms. Just notice that is an option. Press your left leg back. Find your breath, lift the leg. All of this optional. Spider crawl your right fingers. Breathe. Lift the right arm if you would like. Keep the belly tone, keep that left leg active. Take the right arm back. Find your breath. You got it. Reverse, reach the arm forward, drop the fingers, spider crawl back, and lower the leg, and come on up. Shake it out, roll it every time. Maybe circle the arms. That's it, shake it out. And then grab both of your blocks. And place them side by side with some space between them. Bring your elbows down to the blocks. Softly interlace your hands and drop down into kind of a variation of puppy stretch. So you're just gonna lower your chest toward the floor. Maybe your head comes to the floor, maybe not, don't stress it there. Find your breath and just get a nice stretch squeeze through your shoulders. That's it. And then curl your belly, press up. Keep those arms on your blocks. If you don't have blocks, your arms, your forearms are on the floor, your fingers are softly interlaced. Press back one foot, hold for a moment. Check the elbows. Are they underneath your shoulders more or less? Are you pressing down into the blocks with your forearms? Lift your other leg and find an elbow plank. Again, a variation. Breathe, squeeze the legs. Notice your pose. Draw the shoulder blades down your back and broaden through your collarbones. Let's see if we can hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. I know. Just scoot your blocks forward. Plant your hands. Downward facing dog. Pedal up, pedal out your feet. Breathe. Stretch out the backs of your legs. Take the feet slightly wider on your mat than your normal. Walk your hands back to your feet. Soften and widen through the front body. Bend your knees and come all the way up to standing. If you have a blanket there, maybe you move it out of the way just so it doesn't become a trip hazard. And then again, roll the shoulders. So we're going to be doing a lot of shoulder rolling to release that tension, right? The upper trapezius into the neck here. Take your feet hips width apart, maybe slightly wider, and then bend your knees enough to see where your knees go, right? We want them tracking center of your feet. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, hands to heart, come on down. How low you go is up to you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, whew. Inhale up. Exhale down. No strain, no pain, right? Inhale, make sure the knees aren't rolling in or rolling out. You should be able to see your feet. Breathe, good, last one. Exhale, hands to heart. Roll the shoulders down the back. Tone the belly in, reach the arms up. Let's find chair pose. For those of you who have done the last few classes with me, including yesterday's at the park, we've been doing some chair. Let me tell you. And then kind of notice your knees, right? Do they tend to roll in? Do they tend to roll wide? Can you find them tracking over the feet? Tuck your belly. Draw the shoulders down. Take your hands to your sacrum, right? Big, deep back pockets. Pull the shoulders back. Pull down on the hands to stand up. And breathe. Roll it out. Take the feet slightly wider. Good. We're going to inhale, interlace the hands. And then we're going to bend the elbows like we're chopping wood. What I'll ask, I know a couple of you with the low back stuff, is big tone here in the belly, deep knee bend for everybody, okay? Inhale, reach up, interlace the hands. And up. And exhale. Good, take it up. Exhale. And up. What's going on with your knees? What's going on with your belly? Breathe. That's it. Come on, you got it. 3 more. 3. Watch your speed. 2. And 1. Arms up. Hands to knees. Bend those knees. Toes are pointing forward. Your hips are back, right? Your hips are back. But then lengthen through your tailbone, right? So that we're not just sitting in the low backs. Lengthen through the tailbone. And notice, really plant your feet here Reach the arms forward. If you feel this in your lower back, come higher. And then pull the elbows back. Reach forward. Pull back. And 3, pull. 4, 5, you're almost sitting in a chair. 6, and 7, and 8, hang in there. 9, 1 to go. 10, hold, see if you can press the arms back. And breathe for 5, 4, feel those legs. 3, 2, 1, stand all the way up. And exhale. Good, then grab your strap if you have it. You can let's put your right hand in your loop. And then take that loop behind you. Bring the right elbow up. Remember what we did when we were seated. So right elbow up, the elbow points up toward the ceiling, but then the hand drops as if you were patting yourself in the back. Right, cow face arms. And notice that, where is your particular elbow? Is it straight up? Can you reach it up to the ceiling? Keep the knees soft, plant your feet, and breathe. Where is your other arm? Maybe it's down here more parallel. Maybe it's up the back. I know some of you can touch your fingers, can hold your hands. Don't do that just yet. Just soften everything back. Now, soften the front ribs in. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Feel this, right? Just a little stretch. Maybe you pull a little bit more down on the strap to bring that upper arm back more. Head is neutral. And then slide that strap through your hand and release it down. Good, switch sides. Straps in your left hand, it goes behind your back. You're grabbing a hold of that with your hand. You might be more neutral. One side's usually trickier than the other. So I want you to focus on the left hand, on the left elbow. Bring the left elbow toward the ceiling as much as you can for you. Now, some of you, it might be pointing more forward, so don't force. Just kind of notice. If you can, try to keep it from splaying. Maybe walk the right hand up the strap to find your version of cow face arms. Legs are still active, by the way. Soften the ribs in, right? Soften the shoulder blades down and breathe. You got this. Just kind of notice, maybe pull the right hand strap down a little more to raise the left arm strap up a little bit. Just feel it. And then let that strap slide through your right hand. Take the left arm up. Release both arms. Ooh, yeah. Good. Keep your strap. Take your left foot forward, your right foot back. We're looking at warrior 2 stance. What does that mean? Your front knee is bent. Front knee to front ankle, your back foot is either parallel with the short edge of your mat or slightly pointed forward. Belly tones in, tailbone drops. We're just checking this out. I want you to hold your strap. Take your arms wide and take that strap behind your head. So I have my front hand in the loop just to give me purchase, and then I'm pulling the back hand back, and then pull the back hand back more. Almost as if you were leaning back into exalted warrior or reverse warrior, right? But then take it center, draw the torso in, draw the belly in. You're sideways, remember sideways, so Betty, switch arms, switch, yep. Breathe, warrior 2. And then I want you to pull that front strap as if somebody's got your hand and it's pulling, but resist with the back hand. Ooh, breathe, everybody. And then take it up. Back hand goes down to your thigh. Top arm reaches up. Little bit of tension. That strap is behind your neck. Breathe. And then release. Come forward, toes forward. Hands still in your strap. Toes point forward. Forward fold. Strap still in your hand, hand still out to the side. Squeeze your inner thighs. Find your breath. And then allow the strap, if you can, to come behind your shoulder blades. If you don't have a strap or a strap's not long enough, engage those shoulder blades down your back and feel where that might be, where that strap might be. Press the strap into your back to lift up. Release the arms. If you have a loop, switch the loop to your right hand behind your back. Turn your right foot out, straight forward to your mat. Your back foot parallels the short edge or slightly forward. Bend your front knee. So warrior two again, right leg forward. The strap is behind your back. Go wide. Go wide, everybody, right? We spend so much time forward, squeezing these poor chests, right? And then wondering why our heads feel so heavy. Here, we're just going wide. And then imagine that somebody's pulling your back hand and just let your torso move away from the front leg. And then bring it more to center so that that torso is sitting smack in the center of your legs. Push with the front arm, pull back with the back arm, and get some really nice length through your chest. And just breathe. Fire up the legs, by the way. We're not focused on legs so much, but make sure they're part of your pose. And then pull your hand forward, but resist with your back arm. Really pull, really pull. Yeah, right? And then reverse it. Back hand goes down to your thigh. Top arm goes up. Breathe. Keep some tension there. Breathe, find your breath. And release. Strap still behind you. Turn all your toes forward. Come on, down, forward, fold. Arms are still wide. Breathe. Press that strap into your back as much as you can. Don't worry about it. And then push that strap into your back to lift up. Release the arms and stretch. Maybe you can feel like, right, this like, oh, this is so wide open, right? So one more here. Turn your left foot forward, turn your right foot so that it's parallel or slightly forward. Again, warrior two to start. This time I want you to keep the loop in your back hand. So your arms are about, about your arm length, and then drop it down. Look at your front foot, straighten your front leg. Widen your arms. Pull your front arm forward, triangle pose, right? Now, watch your front knee, don't hyperextend. I'd love to lift my toes off the floor, my front toes, and ground the ball mound of my front foot that keeps that knee from hyperextending. The strap is behind your shoulders. Someone's pulling on your front arm, your front hand, pulling it forward, and then let one hand come down to the shin, the other arm up. And here's the key here. Why is this important to Dolphin? I'm opening up the front chest, right? I'm broadening through the back body. The back muscles are active, but they're not over squeezing. I'm not worried about how low I can go in triangle. I'm trying to keep the upper body strong. Now, lengthen, tuck your pelvis, right? Or not tuck your belly. Lengthen your tailbone. Press the straps away from each other. Really fire up the upper arm. Instead of looking up, maybe look down at your foot. And then really keep strength on that strap to lift all the way up. Woo. Just release your arms. Turn your left foot forward. Turn your right foot out. Triangle pose. And if you want, start in warrior. I like warrior too because it gives me my length. I can see my alignment. And then I'll straighten the leg and think about it. Take the loop, if you've got it, to your back hand. If you don't have a strap, you are doing the same activation. You just don't have the feedback of the strap itself. Take the arms wide. Maybe look over your right foot. I've got my right toes lifted, belly tone, and then somebody has my front hand and it's pulling it forward, but I'm resisting with the back hand. And I'm going to shorten mine just a little. If you don't have like really good purchase, maybe you go a little shorter on your strap. And then start to let the arms descend, right? The right hand comes down, the left arm goes straight up. Oh. The chest is open, the back body is active, the collarbones are wide, tailbone long, belly's toned in. Maybe look down at your foot. No strain in the head, the neck. Find your breath, everyone. You got this. How's this triangle feel? Can you find the lift in the upper shoulder, in the upper arm so that the chest is wide? And then pull that strap apart to lift back up. Turn all your toes in one direction. Release the arms. Just let it hang around your hips and drop down into forward fold. And maybe curl out those shoulders, right? Maybe roll them out. Oh, lots of work here, folks. Big deep breath. Press into your hands, turn your toes out, bend your knees, take one hand to one knee, one hand to the other knee, press all the way up. Now you're in a wide leg wide leg stance. You can actually take the strap out. We won't use it for this. Toes are pointed out, maybe 45-degree-ish, or what feels good for your legs. What I look at is when I bend my knees and my feet are heading in the same direction. If they're not, I'm going to change the angle of my feet or shorten my pose a little bit. Good, straight legs, straight arms. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pause here. Where are you moving from? Are you moving from your feet, right? Feel the legs squeeze in through the hips, everything's active. Or are you just like, are you a spring or are you on purpose, right? So lift up, reach down, feel the legs work. It's not about how low you go. It's about the integrity of the muscles working to strengthen the muscles. The challenge of many yogis, not all, but a lot of yogis, is they're too flexible, and we need to bring that strength and that integrity back in to the joints, to the muscles. My opinion. All right, inhale, reach up. And for those of you who are not that flexible, you're going, yeah, right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop down. Watch the low back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Whew. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hold. Breathe. Maybe the thumb and index fingers touch. Maybe you wiggle those hips a little bit. Maybe you circle the hips. Just watch the knees. Whew, yeah. Circle the other way. Find your breath. And then hold your squat, hands to thighs. Push down on your thighs and allow your shoulders to scrunch up a little. Breathe. So scrunch up is an interesting term. What I want you to actually feel is some release of the upper trapezius muscles because we are shortening them instead of pulling them down, right? We're shortening them up. We're making them soft. We're giving them some release from that constant gravity pull of the arms down. Working the legs, make sure the knees aren't coming into the center. Squeeze your hips, squeeze your glutes. Press into your feet as if you were gonna leave a permanent indent in your mat. And then stand all the way up. Good, heel toe those feet in. And come back to the front of your mat. Have your blocks nearby. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Soften both knees. Step back, right leg. Lower your right knee to to the floor. Take your hands to your blocks. If you have them, if not, fingertips to the floor. Notice your alignment. Squeeze in through that back hip, back leg. Find your breath here. You got it. And then release from those blocks. One arm up, other arm up. Tone your belly. Fire up the legs, everybody. Breathe. Can you lift the chest and broaden cactus arms? You got it. Exhale, hands to the floor. Have your blocks on the lowest setting if you want to use them to transition to down dog. If you don't want to use your blocks, hands to floor. Big deep breath. Simply step forward, left leg. Left leg, no, right leg. Other leg. Squeeze your left hip, lower your left knee to the floor. Lift your chest. One arm up, other arm up, right? Find the midline of your body. Press into the top of your back foot. Lift up through your chest. Maybe curl your wrists. Maybe circle them. How does that feel? Right? Oh, maybe wiggle your fingers. Exhale, take them down. Take your time transitioning. Left knee up, down dog. Step forward, left leg. Lower your right knee. Inhale, again, lift both arms. Take your right hand to your left knee, your left hand to your sacrum. Open it up. Maybe take your left hand the rest of the way around your back. Breathe. Maybe take your right arm around the front of your body so you were wrapped up in a twist. Breathe. Check out the head, the neck. Is that where you're moving from? Take it all center, hands to the floor. Nice, Betty. Lift your knee. Either just transition or switch. Right foot forward. Lower your left knee. Just doing a finished kind of warm up here. Inhale the arms up. Breathe. Smile. You got it. Left hand to right knee. Right hand behind. Open up the shoulder. And feel that broadening of the collarbones here. And then wrap your back hand the rest of the way around. Wrap your front arm the rest of the way around. It's like wrapping up a little package. Breathe. I got Christmas on the brain. Breathe. And release. Take those hands down to the floor. Good. Just slide your right leg back. Bring your blocks so that they are shoulders width apart. The outside, shoulders width apart. Drop down to your elbows. Interlace your hands comfortably. What does that mean? It means I'm not holding on for dear life and my knuckles are not turning white. They're soft. They're happy fingers. And then tuck your belly in. And I just want you to consider here. Feel between your shoulder blades and then sink between your shoulder blades. And then pull up through your shoulder blades. Head, neck, neutral. Down and squeeze up. Down and squeeze up. When you squeeze up, those shoulder blades go wide away from each other. When you drop down, you're squeezing in together. Good. 2 more. Out and down. Relax head, neck. Up and down. And then find neutral. Find neutral for you, where everything feels wide, but everything feels engaged. So from that width, from that wideness of the collarbones and of the shoulder blades, now I want you to draw the shoulder blades down the back and feel the muscles activate. It's subtle, and I know it's hard if I can't see you and you're not sure, but even if you're not sure you have it, just kind of think about it in your mind's eye and go, yeah, I can feel the shoulders starting to get active. I can feel the back body starting to get active. I'm pressing down with my forearms. I'm going to press one leg back, the other leg back. Do me a favor, start on knees, half plank. See if you can maintain the width and the activity. Watch the head neck, I know, right? Because that's where my issues are, keeping them soft. Press, and then maybe lift the knees for elbow plank. Hold for 5, 4, keep pushing into the blocks. 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. Move your blocks out of the way. Walk your hands forward and do a true puppy stretch to release the shoulders. Head to the floor. Ideally, knees and hips line up, but don't worry about that so much. You got it. And then come all the way down to your belly. Sphinx pose. And just pause for a minute. Maybe rock one shoulder forward and then the other. Yep. And breathe. And then come to center, plant the hands. Maybe walk the hands up about a half of a hand length forward, just a little bit. So the elbows are just a little forward of your shoulders. Press into your forearms, your elbows, your hands. Feel your chest lift, tone your belly, head neutral. Press into your hands, lift the elbows. Notice if they splay, keep them pointing down toward the floor. Keep those corners, those tips of the elbows pointing down. And then down, lift up. This is 9 and 8. I know you're all smiling. 7 and 6. Triceps, baby. 5. Woo. 4. 3. These are good. 2. Or my triceps are really weak. And 1. Lift. Lower all the way, all the way. Take both hands down, turn your head to the side, and just let everything drop. Maybe take your hands to your back. Yeah, I don't like that. Just take your hands down. You can take them wide. Oh. Maybe turn your head the other way. Good. Take your head back to center. Press yourself up to table pose. Table pose. Grab both of your blocks. If you have them. Put your blocks side by side. The narrow, kind of in, I don't know, not like this way, but second width, so they're flat on the floor. And then just put your arms on either side of them, maybe your forearms, see where it feels kind of good. I've got palms down, it's just a spacer. And then look at your elbows. Are they roughly shoulders width apart? If they're too wide, take one block on edge and go more narrow. If they're not wide enough, take one block wider, right? So everybody's different, everybody's body's different. And then allow your thumbs to rest at the bottoms of your block and your index finger to rest on the outside edge of your blocks. I have one flat and one on edge because that seems about the right width for me. Your knees are under your hips. Check out your neck, maybe drop your chin and stretch. And then take the head to neutral. Press down into your hands, but press down into your wrists and your elbows. And then consider lifting, flipping one set of toes under, flipping the other set of toes under. Stay low, bend the knees. Draw the elbows toward each other, but the collarbones wide. Try not to scrunch your chest. And just press into your arms. In fact, maybe take the feet a little wider still. Press into your hands, elbows are bent. Only if you're ready, straighten the legs. Maybe bring the feet more to hips width apart. Feel what's happening in your shoulders. Wide collarbones, press into your hands, dolphin pose. Head is soft and relaxed. Press into your finger pads, press into your hands. Big deep breath. Tippy toes, lower your knees. Release your arms, maybe come up on both knees. Take your hands behind you and stretch your chest. You can even take one foot forward if your knees don't like that. And breathe. Dolphin pose, it's a tricky pose. It's not something we do regularly. Good, and by the way, if you just did that version of dolphin, or anything we do, and your shoulders are going, what the heck? Are you crazy? Then I'm gonna either ask you to come out, like just breathe for 2 breaths and come on out, right? There's no thing you have to do here, or adjust and just do downward facing dog, because down dog and dolphin are very similar physically other than elbows and hands. And I find dolphin a lot more work for this whole shoulder complex. So if it's too much, just go down dog instead of dolphin. All right, grab your strap, make it a loop. Take the loop above your elbows, meaning closer to the shoulders, but just above the elbows. Make sure if you have a buckle that the buckle's not digging into skin, and that your elbows are roughly shoulders width apart. And then walk your hands back down to the floor. When you come down, elbows, hands, you should feel a decent purchase on your strap. Not too much, not too little. You're not forcing it. Your shoulders don't feel crunched in, but they don't feel too wide. Press your hands in. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, but not overly. And I know that's a weird thing. So you don't want to be scrunched, but you don't want the pull down of too much strain. From here, belly tones in, toes flip under, dolphin number 2. Lift your knees. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees any amount, or take the feet wider so that you have room here to play. Let your head just, my forehead is kind of resting on the strap. That's okay. Just let the head hang. Feel your legs broaden through your sit bones, right? Press into your arms, press into your hands. Feel the pads of your fingers on the mat. Maybe lift to your tippy toes. Woo! And then back down toward your heels. One more here. Lift and lower. Woo! And then drop your knees. And take the strap out. Holy moly! Right? Roll them out, shake them out. Shimmy them out. Just feel it. I feel this too. I don't do dolphin enough. And so when I teach it, then I have to do dolphin more so I can remember. And I feel it too. So just so you know, right? This isn't an isolated incident. We don't do this kind of work a lot. So here we are. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah now. All right, here we go again. Let's take it up a notch. Now, if you loved the blocks or the strap, feel free to use those. We're not going to use props for this one. So we're coming back. We're going to do a couple of variations. So the first one we're going to do is elbows down, hands softly interlaced. Softly interlaced. And breathe. And there's an interesting thing. There was a teacher who said, when you interlace your hands for this kind of work, take your pinky fingers and bring them inside. So I don't know if you can get a sense of that, but maybe try that so that when you're down, you're resting not on your pinkies, but the pinkies are kind of tucked inside, still interlaced, so you're more on the outside edges of your palms. Your arms or shoulders width. The other thing to play with, by the way, if you go to Dolphin and your shoulders are screaming, try to change the width of your elbows. But there's a hugging in for stability at the same time that there's a broadening out of chest and back. All right, here we are, ladies and gents. Flip your toes under, tone your belly in, lift your knees. Press into your hands, softly interlaced. Head is hanging, press down to lift out of the floor. You got it, right? Come out at any time. 1, stay here. 2, come on out. 3, chin to thumbs, swimming dolphin, and back out again. Just 3 of these. Swim in, press up. Squeeze in and press out and lower your knees and pause. Either child's pose, excuse me, either child's pose or some variation of hero, thunderbolt, and I just want you to rest for a moment. Maybe close your eyes, maybe send sweet, sweet messages to your shoulders. Promise them a hot shower, maybe a little self-massage, right? We're almost done with all this. I know it can be a bit much for some. So maybe you've had enough. Maybe your next one is just a nice, beautiful downward facing dog. Okay. When you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I did that yesterday in the park in class. I was the only one that clapped their hands. All right, here we go. Last one. Last one. You're going to take it at your level, as long as you like, as short as you like. It's all good. It's all beautiful. All right. I like hands interlaced, pinkies tucked under version the best. It feels the best on my shoulders. You can go here or you can go hands wide like Sphinx pose. So down we are. I'm tucking in my pinkies. It's a weird thing. I have to think about it, but it feels better once I do. Press into the outer edges of your palms, your elbows, your forearms. Tuck the belly in. Flip your toes under. Press into your forearms to lift your knees. Kind of hug in the elbows, but keep the collarbones wide. It's a tricky little variation there. So 1, you're here. 2, you're out. You're done. 3, walk the feet in just a little bit. Keeping elbows and shoulders in alignment. Don't overshoot your shoulders here. Head is just hanging. Either stay here or press into your left foot to reach your right foot up to the ceiling. Don't sink down into your shoulders. Keep lifting out of the floor. Keep everything wide. Keep everything hugged in, right? Lower your right foot. Push into your right foot. Lift your left foot. Belly tones. Find your breath. Head hangs. Lower that foot. Holy moly. Bend your knees. Oh. Release your elbows, either child's pose or hero pose. Ooh, baby, baby. Roll out your shoulders, soften them, keep them soft. Maybe come up to a seat just for a moment, and then we're going to come down to the floor. And breathe. Take both hands behind you, fingertips, and just press the shoulders back. Don't overstrain. Watch the head. Make sure the head's not coming forward. Breathe. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take those hands soft, interlace behind your head, not your neck, but behind the head, the nice round part of the back of your head. Draw the elbows to the side, lift your chest, maybe look up. Just breathe. The head is fully supported in your hands. The elbows are out to the sides. And then as you exhale, elbows to the floor or close. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. And then release it. Good. Bring your feet to the front or the back, the end of your mat, whatever end that is. Bend your knees. Dig your heels in, take the arms out, draw the shoulders back so the collarbones get wide. Come half, not even halfway. Come a quarter of the way down. Lift one foot, lift the other foot. Take your hands behind your knees and draw the collarbones wide. The elbows come down to your side body. Variation of boat pose, still staying wide. What's your head doing, right? I bang my head a lot because I often don't know where my head is in relation to other objects. So where is it, right? Where is it? Can you keep it neutral so it doesn't feel like it's straining here? And then either stay here or release the arms, but don't overreach it. Woo, don't overreach, just spread those arms out. Find your boat pose, maybe cross your ankles. How's that one feel? Maybe cross them the other way. How's that feel? Lift your chest. Breathe and lower. Good. Last one here, and then we're coming to the floor. I promise. Take your feet wide on your mat. Dig your heels in, bend the knees a bunch. Reach your right arm through your legs to your left foot, shin, knee, as long as it's comfortable. Your left hand just comes down to the floor for support. Big deep breath. And then holding on to that foot if you can, I want you to push the foot to the floor. So we're just stretching. This whole back area, we've been working so much today. Let your head, neck be comfortable. Let your left arm be comfortable, left shoulders comfortable. Just push your left foot to the floor as if you were pressing down on the gas pedal. Take a good deep breath. That's it. Keep softening the right shoulder blade. And then let go of the gas pedal, bend your left foot back up. Release your right hand, switch sides. Flexing that right foot, hold on the foot or shin if you need to. Breathe. Your right arm comfortable wherever it is for you. Press down the gas pedal. Should feel a stretch along that whole left side shoulder. Maybe a little tone to the belly just to watch the low back. Take a deep breath into these shoulders. We've worked them pretty hard, right? It's all good, everybody. One of my students yesterday said, yoga in the sunshine, life is good. There you go. And release the gas pedal, release the arm, just feel that. And then take your feet back to the front of your mat. If they shifted, come all the way down to your back. Your feet are on the floor. Woo. Take the arms to cactus pose and soften and draw the shoulders to the floor. So sometimes we just come back to neutral, and this is kind of the neutral, right? This is where we can let the muscles realign. Lengthen through your back body so that you're not overarching. Soften your jaw, maybe turn your head side to side. And then bring the head back to neutral. Press into your feet, lift your hips just a couple of inches, and then shift your hips to the right edge of your mat. So it's not your whole body, it's not your feet, it's just your hips sway over to the right and drop back down. Bring your knees up toward your chest, lower your knees to the left. If that is too deep, a block under your knees, right, can really ease up the depth of the twist. So that might be a good option for you. This could be really too deep. And then broaden through the back shoulders again. If your right shoulder is hanging in the air, I want you to take that arm to your hip so that your shoulder joint isn't overstretching. If you're mostly on the floor, then that's okay. Maybe your left hand comes to the tops of your knees, just coming into a twist here. The head, neck are neutral, the chin is neutral. Big deep breath, everybody. And if you have your left hand on your knee, I want you to take it out from your left shoulder. So it's straight out in T position. Take your right arm and lift it up. Curl all the way over so you're on that side and stretch your right hand past your left. And then squeeze it in. Just slide the hand up your arm and back down again. Good. Slide it up and down. Allow your body to kind of roll with your arm and down. Good, one more right here. Slide it up your arm and slide it back down. And then come to neutral, take the right arm all the way up. Bring it back out to cactus. Bring your knees to center. Feet to the floor, shift your hips back to center. I'm just going to turn around because I'm going to be too close to the wall here. So we're back in cactus, our backs are on the floor. We've got a little space behind our lower backs. Press into your feet, lift your hips, shift the hips to the left edge of your mat, bring your knees toward your chest, and twist the knees to the right. So here we are, and twist again. Shoulders are wide, the back body is wide, the head is soft. If you smile, your whole face softens, by the way. Scientific fact, maybe. And just breathe, just feel this twist. If you need a block under the knees or want a block under your knees, just do that. Maybe the right hand goes to the knees just to deepen the twist. Maybe it doesn't. Be mindful. Always, always. And then stretch out your right arm so it's straight out from your shoulder. Lift your left arm, bring it up toward the ceiling and all the way across so that your hand on top of hand. Spread that top hand past your bottom hand. I'm like rolling right over to the forehead here. And then slide the left hand back up the arm and back down. So we're not only softening that upper arm's shoulder, we're kind of massaging the bottom shoulder from all the work. Good, just slide it forward and slide it back. One more. And forward. And then release it. Come back to your T position. Come back to your knees center, hips center. Just bring your arms overhead, elbows soft, any height that you want. If it's better in cactus, take it there, but we're doing that little shrug of the shoulders again, but very soft. Maybe even a little chin tuck here to keep the back really long. And then soften as much of your upper body as you can to the floor. And then straighten one leg, straighten your other leg, reach both arms way overhead, stretch your legs really long. Take a big deep breath, maybe even arch your back a little bit, and exhale. Let those arms come down to your sides, palms face up, feet, legs, everything soft. Coming into your Shavasana. If you are chilly and want your sweater, your blanket, go ahead and take a few moments to do that. Sorry, I didn't cue that one a second ago. But then feel yourself really soften to the floor. If your lower back is chatty, feel free to bend your knees. Maybe even lay on your side as an option. In yoga, there are as many options in my mind as there are bodies. So we find our yoga. We find our peace. We find our awakening. Feel yourself fully surrendering to the floor, to your mat, to the hardness underneath you. Just surrender to that. Close the eyes. And as you drift into a deeper Shavasana, I want you to imagine a warmth around your heart, a glow. As if you were sitting in front of a warm fireplace, a warm hearth, and you could feel that warmth radiating in your chest. And as that glow grows, as that warmth grows, the heart expands. The blood pumps easier. The heart gets stronger. The protective layers that we have put there for so many years start to melt. And we see with the eyes of the heart instead of the mind, instead of the brain. Feel this glow. Know that this is your divine presence. Sink deeper into Shavasana with this warmth. Soften your jaw. Soften your belly. Allow the glow of your heart to expand. Bring your awareness back to your body. Start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Draw your knees to your chest. Rock side to side, knowing, by the way, that you can stay in Shavasana. As you curl over to one side, feel a sense of gratitude for your practice today, for your life, for your gifts. And then press all the way back up to your seated pose.